Down there. Good. Down there. I'll be a piston. I'll be a piston.
All right, YouTube, what is going on? It's been a little while. Just been getting back in the flow of things with work and life in general. With the holidays, things have been a little bit crazy. Haven't missed a beat though. Just bodybuilding away still. Right now, nothing much has changed on the calorie side of things. Training days were right around 3,150. Rest days right around 2,600. Still just finishing up the end of this health phase. Probably got another week or two left, and then we'll start pushing things. Training intensity slowly has just been going up. We've been getting, dropping fatigue a little bit every day, every week. Seems like fatigue's a little bit less, feeling a little bit better, and just improving on the overall well-being and feeling, and really just doing what a health phase should be doing. So I'm going to post the push day I just did, the majority of it. Right now, all the lifts are we're going via the logbook. Strength is almost to where it was at like peak off season. So that's promising. Trying to think here. Pretty much we're running top set, back offset. Back offset still the failure, but just dropping the weight, just getting a little more mind muscle connection. Just make sure we're not compromising form to progress the logbook. And that's about it. The only thing I didn't show was a cuffed cable lateral raise. For some reason, the top set of Incline Smith didn't record, which is a bummer, because that's like the one cool set on there. But the rest of it, that pretty much wrapped it up. Did some abs before, did some DC stretches, some mobility work as well. I'm doing mobility work every morning. I'm doing abs on every rest day, and I'm doing abs before every push and pull day. So the only days I don't do abs are my leg days. And we're still doing that push-pull legs, 2 on, 1 off, 1 on, 1 off, with 2 different leg breakdowns, 2 different push workouts, and 2 different pull workouts. So that's that. Making up breakfast right now. Still the same. Training day versus non-training day, the only difference is the amount of cream of rice. So on training days, I get 100 grams of cream of rice. Non-training days, which is today, it's only 65 grams. And this is what we got going on over here. So we got our bell peppers heating up in the pan. I get 1 mini bell pepper. We have 2 whole eggs. Get your eggs organic or pasteurized. They taste better. It's a better omega-3 versus omega-6 profile. If you can't afford it, okay, fair enough. But if you're bodybuilding, you could probably afford it because you're paying for health supplements and pre-workout and all these other things that are way more expensive than pasteurized eggs. Taste better for you. But that's a rant. I get a handful of spinach, cream of rice. We're going with Elevate Blueberry Muffin. 350 grams of egg whites, 80 grams of blueberries, and I go 20 grams of sauce between Cholula and sugar-free ketchup. And then we have our morning vitamins, 1/4 teaspoon of pink salt on every meal, and digestive enzymes with every meal. So that's what we got going on over there. And I pour the egg whites into the mug. Caffeine-wise, we're sticking to about 350 milligrams of caffeine a day. Again, just trying to drop systemic fatigue, and stims can definitely fatigue out the body. So that's, generally it's been 2 cups of coffee and then a half scoop of pre-workout, which puts me at 375 milligrams roughly a day. Days like yesterday, I did 2 coffees. I'm saying a coffee is about 150 milligrams of caffeine, so 2 coffees, and then a Coke Zero, so that's about 330 milligrams. Sometimes it's just a coffee and then a full scoop of pre-workout. The Hostility V2 serving size can be 2 scoops. I still do 2 scoops of the Bloodshot of the pump, so I'm getting fully pumped. But of the V2 stim, it's 150 a scoop. So I'll do a half scoop generally with 2 scoops of Bloodshot, or if I'm doing a full scoop with, 1.5, 2 scoops of Bloodshot, then there's your 300. But that's kind of what I'm playing with. Some coffee, a little bit of pre, a little bit of Coke Zero. Absolute max I'm trying to go is 450, so that would be 2 scoops of coffee and 1 scoop of pre. But since I've really been on this, I haven't done that. I've kept it to 375 max. And generally, for the last 7 to 10 days I've been tracking, it's been a little bit less than that. And I have noticed that the coffee and caffeine does affect me a little bit more now in the morning, rather than if I'm doing 3-4 cups of coffee plus pre a day. Water, we're at 2 gallons, 7.5 liters. New shaker. Freaking Darth Vader, Christmas. Gotta love it. The coffee we went with today was this 5 Country Blend whole bean from Trader Joe's. So ground that up last night, put it in there, had a cup before cardio. And we will do another cup on the road with these customer meetings and with breakfast. Like I said, today's a non-training day, so that'll probably be it for the caffeine. Might do a Coke Zero, so about 330 milligrams of caffeine today. I think there's like 34 milligrams of caffeine in Coke Zero. This I got at Disneyland, Donald Duck mug. So I filled up the egg whites in the mug to put the 350 in the pan. I put the spinach in there. I did some no salt seasoning and black pepper. Then I fill this same mug up with water for our creamer rice. And I do 4 times the amount of water as I do creamer rice. Once we push the food up higher and the meals are tough to get down, I'll probably drop that to a 3-to-1 ratio. Just for less volume, make it easier to get the food in. So 65 grams of creamer rice, and we zero out the scale. Then all I'm doing here is pretty much just trying to bring the egg whites to the edge of the pan to cook evenly before we fold it over. So 65 times 4, 280, what's that? About 270, around there. Doesn't have to be exact. That actually went over. Doesn't have to be exact. In prep, I am exact with the water just to keep everything a little bit more consistent. I did have a free meal on Christmas. I had a free meal on Christmas Eve and a beignet at Disney. My weight has jumped up. I was holding about 217 and some change to 220 max. Now I'm about 223. Fasted a few days after, so weight has definitely jumped up, but body composition still looks pretty darn good. All right, so here you go. Get the edge. Looks pretty good. So we're just gonna flip it, pull it back. I'll show you, get a little look-see. That's what she looks like. And then I'll stay there for about a minute or two, flip on the other side for about a minute or two, and then I'll start cooking the 2 eggs. And so now this egg white mug all rinsed out, we will have our second cup of coffee. Almost finish this pot off. And cardio-wise, we're doing 3 times a week, 25 minutes fasted. It's been that way for the last 3 weeks. We did pull it for about 10 days. It was at 6 days. So 3 times a week, 25 minutes fasted. And then I have a 40-minute daily walk on top of that. So 40 minutes of steps. Break it up however I want, whether that's post-meals, evening, morning, whatever. Generally, I'll do 2 big 20-minute walks when I have cardio, and then when I don't have cardio, which is pretty much every training day right now with the current split, I'll just wake up, do my morning mobility work that I do every morning. It's helped the hips a ton. It's helped the core a ton. Doing all the core work 5 days a week, mobility 7 days a week. I'm starting to see a lot of progression. Also in training, the movement pattern and efficiency, the way my pelvis is sitting. Tommy and I are working a lot on that. Just posture. And then I'll just go do my 40-minute walk after. Trying to think, so that's mobility, training, cardio, food, supplementation, finished off NAD and glutathione. Almost done with my bottle of Metapure DS, almost done with my bottle of Adrena Health. So health phase is really almost complete. Like I said, another week or two, then training intensity will just continue to go up. Tommy and I are training together once a week, just improving movement patterns, improving intensity, improving strength, pretty much every week at this point, even just with food not that high and not trying to push ourselves too much, we're still seeing positive results and progress. So goal is to just kind of keep on that same wavelength, just push food a little higher and increase that body weight. But with the body weight jump to 223, not much, if any, loss in composition, we're in a pretty good spot. So we were about a little over 206 on stage. If we end this health phase under 226, under 20 pounds up from stage in 8 weeks, I think that'll be pretty good. Really starting to feel like myself again this past week and a half. I think going on vacation at Disneyland, spending time with family definitely helped, but also just having that fatigue drop, the decrease in cardio. Now, granted, I was getting like 25,000 steps a day at Disney. But yeah, I mean, we got a hotel with a kitchen out there, so I was able to get all my food prepped. Didn't miss a beat, didn't miss a training session, no cardio missed, even at Disneyland, even at home in California for the holidays. Like I said, we had those planned meals. But other than that, I mean, not a beat's missed, so no excuses. Wherever you travel, wherever you go, being a bodybuilder on the road is a pain, man. It is a pain. I had to bring my body weight scale, 2 food scales just in case, rice cooker, potato peeler, pre-workout, protein, morning cardio drink, all the health supplements. I mean, there's just so much to it. A bunch of different changes of clothes because you're going to the gym, and you got your cardio shoes, and you got your squat shoes, and it's just one thing after another. So it's nice to be back. I got back 2 days ago, training at my home gym, Muscle Factory Gym in Tempe. Back with in my safe bodybuilder bubble at home. And just in time to kind of finish off this last week or two of the cruise and just be in a good spot heading into 2026 to put on as much size as I can. Work hasn't been too crazy, and I assume it'll kind of stay that way through the end of the year. All right, cream of rice, done. I'll show you the finished product here momentarily.
That's why it's so popular too. But I agree with you with
The other thing is like, oh, how the fuck is the fly? Now, here's my both are true. The moon landing did happen, but what we were shown was fake. Because at that time, right, like in 60s, Christianity was still massive. Right, like there wasn't like this huge dependent population of like atheists and
actually, if anything.
it's going down.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it was, if anything, back then, like, versus what it is.
So
what it
like,
has.
yeah, so question. Do you think the U.S. government could say, oh, we found aliens and show it to people?
It's still going great.
I think the moon landing happened. The moon landing happened. What we saw was fake.
And you know what's funny? I can believe that. And you know what? That's always like low-key been like a thought in the back of my mind. That, or I was just like, or maybe it's real and they actually are telling the truth for once. But that was more of a stretch than what me and you were saying.
Okay, so I just took my digestive enzyme, salted the meal. Here we go. 2 whole eggs, 350 grams of egg whites, 1 mini bell pepper, spinach, sugar-free ketchup, black pepper, Cholula. Then we got 65 grams of cream of rice, 80 grams of blueberries, and some cinnamon. Here's my coffee. I put 10 grams of the zero sugar peppermint mocha coffee mate in there, and I measure it out. So I do 20 grams of that a day to keep that at 10 calories. So I do 10 grams in each coffee. Water, tapping into my 2 gallons, about half a gallon in already. Mix up these frozen blueberries, cream of rice, cinnamon. Got the whole easy eggs, veggies. We're gonna put this down while doing some work. And then I have a customer meeting, another meal, some more work, non-training day. So go hit the sauna, do a 40-minute walk later. Other than that, it's just work and meals. So I'll throw up the videos of the push day. Hope you enjoy that. And then once we're getting done here with the health phase, we will put some more time into YouTube, training videos, nutrition, all that good stuff. And we'll start the Operation Mass. So I'll do last video, the health phase will kind of be a recapping how the last 8 weeks went and kind of prefacing what we're going to do. So that's that. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.